Always a tick. That's really annoying. Okay, so let's do that for some reason. like though. Work. See that on here. Sorry. Hey, Sherlock, how you doing, man? Yeah, sorry, it's on my phone. If I don't speak actually really loudly, it's kind of quiet. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'll probably have to put my headphones on because the microphone on the phone it is decent, but you've got to like talk it like I think at full volume almost to be heard. It's not as ideal as the headphone. But if it gets really quiet, let me know and I'll switch and put headphones on. Trying not to have them on while I'm doing stuff. I can't do anything else. It's kind of warm in this room, so it's yeah, is the music like, is it actually loud? I mean, I don't know, I've got it kind of quiet, but it's maybe for me to quiet, I don't know. I can easily enough turn the music down. Compared to me, the music's very alright. Give me a second, let me turn that down then. Alright, how is that? So it might take a second to change over to before it actually changes. Yeah, is that better? Oh, good, okay. I mean, I don't mind wearing the headphones too much, but like if you when you're gaming, it's not so bad, but painting, it's kind of uncomfortable. So. Anyway, how are you doing, mate? Time for desk mic and the painting. So definitely. I mean, the phone's it's not horrendous. It's just you've got to really turn everything else down, and I'm a bit sort of conscious of like any background noise. Like I've got the 3D printers running at the minute, and I can see it on the mixer that like when it makes a sort of boom like noise, you can see the spike on the thing on the actual mixer itself. But I don't know how actually obvious it is or how badly it sounds. Yeah, I looked at a desk mic, but they're the good ones are quite pricey for a reasonably good one. Let's see how this goes. If this if we can get, you know, if people start watching, like actually doing stuff, because I'm a bit hit and miss with streaming, or I've been over the last, well, since I started doing it really. Ah, shit. Don't put your fingers on the wet paint. Spend a fortune on gear that gets minimal use. Yeah, I've looked at that. What was the other one I looked at? It was Shure, I think SH Shure, but not the really expensive ones, like really expensive ones. Like it was a desktop USB, but it got really good reviews as well. And I think it's probably a competitor for that one, or in the same sort of area, I would guess. This base the diorama base is not too far off being done. I had actually planned to stream all the painting sort of aspects of it, and then the other day I couldn't sleep, so I woke up and I was like, I just started painting, and I've been doing a bit of research on my airbrushing, and I've had mixed success with using it for anything other than like base coating, like using primer, and found that actually after a bit of research and a bit of working around with it, that I was able to paint almost the entire base in a few hours, almost exclusively with the airbrush. Which is kind of good, because obviously it's, I mean, it's quite a reasonable size. It's about 40. Yeah. Oh, the wife's downstairs, so she's downstairs doing her crafty stuff, which is like knitting and all that kind of thing, which she enjoys doing. Which is kind of cool. She makes teddy bears and things, which I mean, who doesn't like a good teddy bear, right? Especially as a panda. I could get her to. She could probably do a panda, I suspect. I mean, like she just like, you know, standard sort of teddy bears. I mean, she did an alien the other day, which is kind of cool. It was like, I know whether it was like an error that she'd made on a normal one or whatever. I don't know, but it turned out to be an alien with like 6 legs or something, which was kind of cool. So I suspect she could do a panda. If she put her mind to it, I'm fairly certain she could. You get good coverage with this base coat stuff from Games Workshop, but it's dries out really fast. Yeah, believe me, dude. I know the feeling. We get paid at in a couple of days, and the end of the month is always painful. Or it always feels like it's painful. Like you're waiting. Literally, it's like you're just waiting, trying to speed up time. Literally. Oh dear, yeah. Oh, cigarettes, man. There's a. I mean, I'm fairly certain you've heard this before because I heard it when I used to smoke, and obviously I told this to the wife when before she quit and got a vape. Is that you are literally burning money, literally. But I'm not going to be one of them horrible ex-smokers who tells you how bad it is. You know yourself already. So. I mean, you got we have. I drink too much beer. The wife orders too much shit from Temu and what have you, and you know, everybody's got their thing that they. Yeah, it's definitely it's probably the best way to do is buy it in bulk, but even so, it's kind of it's an expensive habit. It always has been, and it's never been. I mean, I was horrified when if I'm in the shop like getting something and somebody comes in and buys an actual proper packet of cigarettes. I mean, I think they're probably a bit cheaper over there than they are here, but it's like, yeah, it's an awful lot of money for compared to when I first started. When I first started smoking, I was like 16, so it's a long time ago, and 10 cigarettes was £1, £1, which obviously they're probably about £6 today. I think I don't know. I've never bought them, but they're expensive. I'm not even sure if you can get 10 anymore. In fact, there were some places when I was a kid that used to sell them in. You could buy them individually. I don't think anywhere does that now, but. Yeah. Excuse me. Space Marine I'd like to get into this. Oh yeah. Ah right. So, oh, you just got into it. Oh, that's awesome, man. You should probably give up smoking because this is way more expensive. I mean, like literally, they don't call it. I mean, it's literally called plastic crack. Oh, Eisenhower's an awesome choice. I would also definitely worth reading is the Horus Heresy stuff. Yes, I was just going to say, and I don't. Do you read physical books? Or are you buying these physically books, or are you getting them as audiobooks? Oh, audiobooks. Sorry, learn to read. There's an awful lot of heresy books, though. There's a lot. It's a long series. It's very much worth reading, though, especially if you're just getting into it. It's a real good read because it's the history of everything else. Basically, it's the history of Warhammer, like especially in the Warhammer 40,000 at least, and it's referenced constantly. Yeah, yeah. I don't know if you read on like a Kindle or any like on your phone or a tablet or anything, but if you do, I can. I'll talk to you about it later. Anyway, I may or may not have some of those books available. Yeah, come on. Yeah, Horus Heresy's 30k basically. It's 10,000 years, and it is the backstory of the Emperor and his sons, who are the Primarchs, and the story of how the 40k universe becomes a thing, or how it becomes the way it is. Perhaps is maybe a better way of putting it. I won't go into it too much because it's a big storyline. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's very awesome. Some very cool stories, massive battles, and etc. See, again, I don't know what it is. Whether it's just like age and there was no other way to get these sort of things. When I was younger, I mean, it was literally books. There was only books. There was no audio books. There was no podcasts. There was no nothing like that. So, not to the scale that there is these days, anyway. So, I mean, also my mother was a teacher, so I literally didn't have a choice. It was like, here, loads of books. Make sure you read them. Nearly there with these sandbags. This is, well, for now anyway, this is just the base coats. And then once they're dry, God, damn it, I keep doing that one. I need to get some more paint in this palette. See, I mean, I've still got, like, behind me there's storage boxes with my physical books in, which I've had. A lot of them I've had for a very long time. A lot of history books, and I was very interested in the war because my grandfather was in the Navy in World War II, and have a fairly large collection of World War II history books, and say my mother was a teacher. My dad did, or still does, in fact, model railways. So I was always at model railway convention, exhibition things with him, helping him out, basically being free labour. And I say free, I used to get an Airfix kit was my payment or some description for helping out, and that kind of led into doing Warhammer when I was about 10. So I've been yeah, those trains are really expensive. It's the it's not like Hornby. I don't know if you know anything about the trains, but it's not Hornby. It's larger scale than that. It's the double O gauge, sorry, which is bigger. So the tracks are bigger, so therefore the everything's bigger. It's basically it's about 1/35 scale. So if you know anything about like plastic kits, it's almost the same scale as Warhammer, like as 40k. It's very close. And all the kits, the train kits certainly, are predominantly brass. So, and they come flat in an envelope, practically, or a box, thin box, and they have to be all bent into shape and then soldered together and stuff. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, my dad's extremely good at what he does, you know what I mean? He's been doing it a long time. He's in his 80s now, and he's still going, and he still gets asked to create instructions for people's kits and all sorts of stuff, so it's kind of cool, you know. But yeah, I had a good introduction to doing like modeling and stuff. Wooden ships, yeah, no, those are cool. They're very, very time consuming if you want to get them to look really good, because obviously you need to do all the rigging and so I would be interested in doing one at some point. I have got up on the shelf behind me a plastic ship kit for the Japanese aircraft carrier Yamato, which I did start, but I have not done a lot with. It's another one of them pile of shame boxes, which I will eventually get to. Yeah. Oh, 60s or 70s kit. Wow, that would be awesome to build. Like those old kits, like yes, they're difficult, but if they're like real good quality. I mean, I had a really old kit of it was 1960s. I can't remember the exact year. Ford Mustang, but it was in like 12. I'd like to say 12 scale maybe. It was huge. It would have been probably about 2 feet long, and I have no idea where it went. Because it certainly wasn't completed. Because I mean, obviously, when I was a kid, I was not all that great at actually finishing these things off. Before the advent of like all of the sort of acrylic paints that you get these days, everything back then was in enamels, and when you're young, like when I was, everything took too long to dry, so it just you ended up starting stuff and then never finishing it, because it was like it just took too long as a child. Almost done with this colour. Almost done with this colour. It's awkward to see from here. Oh shit, just totally bashed the desk. See helicopters. Yeah, I did cars, like racing buggies, when I was young. And then in a fit of adolescent peak, I suppose you might call it. I don't know. A couple of years ago, I bought another one, which I did use. Found I was really bad at, and I'm now trying to sell it. What was I trying to do? Because I'm just really bad at it. Okay, I think just another little bit there. Okay, that is the base coat for that done. Oh yeah, those are very expensive. This what's that you got to do? I bought a drone. Ah yeah. Yeah, I'd quite like a drone. I like the idea of them. I like the racing ones, are really fast, but they're also just cool for camera stuff and what have you. Yeah, the large Millennium Falcon's very expensive. There's an expert grade plastic kit for the Millennium Falcon. Which is also extremely expensive. I think it's 600 euros particularly, but it's very pricey. Yeah, too many interests and hobbies. Yeah, too many interests or too many hobbies is A, expensive, and B, like you say, you don't get a lot done. Tidy up this a bit. Right, what do we need to do now? Now, I'm just going to leave that to dry a little bit more. So while that's drying, what we'll do is we'll see if I can get a few of these. I'm going to have to put some of these paints away. I need to get some more, so like this, but like another one for here, for more paint, so I can not have to keep going under the desk just to get paints out. Just have them all up in here. What do I want to do now? We need to wash that, to put a wash on it, and then we need, there's not much of that left. That's going to be too red. I'd really like to put an oil wash on it, or the 3D printer I have is it's a resin printer. It's not an FDM. So shelves and such like are just, well, I mean, they're impossible to print because they're huge. However, that said, soon TM, I will hopefully be able to get one of the Bamboo Labs big printers for doing big stuff. Like, so in this diorama, for example, all of this, in fact, Everything that's not basically the ground is 3D printed on this. Ah, yeah, see, yeah. Exactly. They're really quick and fast, and they can do miniatures really quite well, but they don't do them as well as a resin printer does. I printed this off the other day. This is a sort of something else I'm going to work on soonish. And the detail level on it is just, I mean, insane. Yeah, I want one for both of those purposes. I would really want to print and build. I love building. I mean, I love painting, and obviously I've been doing it a long time. So I'd like to think that I was reasonably okay at it. But I do probably the better. I do love probably building and stuff more than I actually love painting, perhaps. And I want one of the Bamboo Labs for basically making bigger stuff, but also for doing stuff like large scale ship models, like sci-fi ships and Star Wars ships and whatnot. There's some very nice models for the Star Wars stuff, particularly Aliens, the Sulaco from Aliens, amazing, like 2 foot, 3 foot ship. You know, fit them on these big shelves here. Literally, they need to buy loads of millions of shelves, and just loads of stuff like that. A lot of the larger statues and stuff you can print in single goes or in several parts rather than trying to print. Like, you can print some huge stuff even on the resin printer, but you need to print it in loads of bits. Plant puts, yeah. Well, this is it. I keep my wife keeps saying to me. She says, "When are you going to print something for me?" I'm like, "Well, it's not really that sort of stuff for you. You know what I mean? It's all really for modelly stuff." And she was like, "Yeah, but do something anyway." I'm like, "Well, if I had one of these other printers, obviously I could print you loads of stuff like plant pots and shelves and things." And she just looks at you like, "Yeah, right." Or right, so come on, let's get dry. Need this to dry. What are we going to wash this with? I don't know what we need to wash it with, but I can't find it. Where the bloody hell did I put it? Ah, there it is. Anyway, I have this somewhere. As you can see, it's a bit dusty. Hasn't been used for a little while. So if anyone's painting and what have you, there's you can buy obviously stuff like this. Washes, they're good. They're not, there's nothing wrong with them. Until you spill them, because obviously these pots are just actually designed to spill. Or you could get that and just water it down. I mean, it's a bit more expensive for the pot, but it'll last you forever. So. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I want specifically one of the Bamboo Labs, because they work and they're extremely good quality, and they're quick, which is also a bonus. There's a guy that I work with who has one, and he does a lot of stuff like the same sort of stuff that I want to do, which is the big statues, ships, and whatnot, specifically. I very definitely want to want to do that. Alright, let's get... The brush is maybe too big. That'll do. Just getting close. Yeah. What the hell have I done with this brush? Wow, what the hell? Oh. What was that? So, I think I've used that one for enamels, so it'll just have to be this bigger brush. Yeah. Yeah, I'll be looking at it when I like they've just released that other new one as well, haven't they? With the it's got the built-in laser cutter and everything like that as well. If you well, as an extra, I say built-in, so like an extra. But well, this is way too much. Yeah, yeah. Let's put this wash on here. On the 2 printers. Yeah, I think is that the new one that they just released? Like literally, I know they just released one a little while ago. Yeah, the H. Yeah, I think that's the one that I saw. I've seen loads of. I saw loads of things. It's the one where you can get, like, say, I think it's got that. The laser cutting thing that you can just. It's just part of, or you can have it as a. Now, why has that gone funny like that? It wasn't dry. Yeah. Yeah, they're not. It's not the cheapest one, but I was like, I mean, I'm not certain I would use. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I would. I do like the idea of the laser cutter as well, so you can make your own like MDF, like paint racks and such things, and shelving and what have you. I mean, I know you could probably just print them yourself as well. I don't know whether it would be more efficient, which way to do it, I don't know. Yeah. One thing I am definitely wanting to, which I will do at some point, is I will build myself a hot wire cutter, like a really good, like a, you know, you can buy them obviously pre-made, but it's a hot wire cutter for foam, because obviously when they do these sort of things, cutting all this foam was tedious to do by hand, to say the least. But yeah, the bamboo is one of those is on my shopping list for certain. Oh, hey man, how you doing? Thanks for dropping by. Ah, you're working early. Nah, you're a top lad. Well, I'm glad you've been hungover all the day. Oh wow. Hey man, feel free to send me some beer money. I'm skint as fuck. It's horrible. Anyway, I can't be. You no pity for being hungover, because I don't get none, because it's just self-inflicted, as I constantly get told by your mother. Yeah. Yeah. Why did I put a sandbag up in there? I'm a stupid man. It wasn't very bright. Alright, dude, take it easy. And enjoy yourself at work as much as you can. Alright, catch you later, man. Alright, so take it easy, man. I will. Thanks for dropping by. Good to have you. And say hello to Varric for me, and I will catch up with you at some point. Right. This bloody thing's heavy. I've overmixed a little bit on all the ink wash. Oh, let's have a quick drink while we on. What can we do while that's drying? Does this work or not? Yeah, it'll do. Oh dear. That's the only downside to these sort of ink washes, they do take a while to dry. So let's have a look. Oh, this is, if anybody hasn't had a look at the Instagram and what have you, this is what's going on here. So this artillery piece will go in the middle, and this recovery / delivery type support vehicle is here, and I've got a whole bunch of bits which are just out of shot. In fact, actually, I wonder if we can. No, we can't. They are just off to the side, just over here. Things like ammunition crates, which I haven't painted as yet. Some crew, some cool barrels, which I printed way too many of. Boxes, some spare, some actual proper. So we've got a couple of empty shells, but then we've got some actual shells which we will have sitting around. and I've got a crew. It's not perfect crew because it's a 3D print. But when I started this project, my idea was that I wanted to, as close as possible, 3D print everything or scratch build it. And at the minute, that's where I stand. I have had to buy one thing because, well, I bought it. It'll look better than a scratch build, but I bought some brass etched barbed wire, which will follow the line of the trench wall. And inevitably, as soon as I bought it, I found a video on making, like scratch making some barbed wire that didn't look really shit. I mean, I've seen, but you can buy a lot of pre-made stuff, and it's just basically one wire with more wire wound around it, and it's okay. I mean, it'll do. It'd be good for, because it's easy. It'd be good for like terrain, battlefield terrain, but not so much for this. But the other one that I found is it's a cool video. I just found it on Instagram the other day. It was it actually makes barbed wire that looks like it's like proper barbed wire that you would see around a farmer's field. So it's got like the little twist and the two little spikes sticking out either side. It's very cool actually how it's done. It's very easy to do as long as you've got a few basic tools. I think if you had a look on Instagram, it's something like best miniature barbed wire tutorial or something like that. It's very good. What else have we got? We've got the other wheels for the. There's two, and this cannon is has a double set of wheels. But before I do this, I need to fire the cannon. Rah! Cannon goes boom. Hi Dan, how are you doing? How are you? Yeah. Hey, good. Glad to hear it. Good to hear. Oh, look at that! It's still singing in there. I'm sure that will be a thing one day. It's definitely going to be a thing one day. Also, thank you for. Yes, soon, TM man, soon TM. Have you heard any more about how long that's going to be? Because I know you were just waiting on it. Really? Or are they still just not available anywhere? Let's get these off here. What's that? Just throw paintbrushes all over the place. Yeah. Just a bit of crappy plastic, waste plastic. See, 2026. What? 48 super from Huss isn't bad. Still a decent card. Nice card still. It's not a 50/80, obviously, but as you say, it's not going to be available to next year. How long do you wait? This is the thing. What should we do while we wait for that? Because that is still not dry. Whoops. What was that? This is still not dry. Yeah. Yeah, that's like buying twice, isn't it? It's not ideal. I need to look at upgrading mine. I actually have now. There are now games that will not actually run at all on it, which is sad. It's only 2 that I've found so far, but still, it makes me sad that my graphics card does not run the new Doom particularly. And I think it's the new Doom and the Indiana Jones game that came out not that long ago. The Circle of whatever, and it needs ray tracing. It will not work without ray tracing at all. Very sad indeed. Yeah. I feel like we should be doing something like I'm going to put this out of the way for it because it's going to take a little while to dry. Let's have. I'll tell you what we could do quickly. Let's have a look and see how the 3D print's coming. Right. Yeah, so the camera's in the printer has decided it doesn't want to work anymore. Ooh, this is looking very tidy. And when I say looking very tidy, I mean it hasn't actually fallen off the base or anything like that. So hopefully that will actually complete without any errors. That would be fantastic. Yeah. Oh. Right, let me move this out of the way and we'll just do some work on something else for a little bit. Moved everything around. Where can we put this for now? Not there, because I'm looking. Oh, it's going to have to go up on the top temporarily. Right. So we'll give that 20 minutes or so to dry properly because it was a fairly heavy wash. Let's move a few of these bits around. Let's get this big lad down. And let's do a bit more of this detailing on here. So this guy is almost finished. Let's see if we can get this positioned properly so we can actually see it. It's a little bit dusty because I've been doing this diorama. Obviously, there was a lot of dust and crap from the polystyrene. Obviously, polystyrene is the XPS form. It's proper. The blue form, thick stuff, much better than generic form for doing terrain and what have you. It's much easier to cut. So Yeah, this guy's nearly getting on for being done. Alright. Okay. So what I'm doing here at the minute with this is all the metallics just need edging out. So you can see it on this weapon here. So like this. So I'm just going around doing that. I'll do some of that while we wait for the other stuff to dry. Very quickly. I'm using Minotaur paint, which I have the big set of, which I bought a couple of years ago, which is fantastic because they still work. Gun alloy. This is very cool paint. It's it'll go straight in an airbrush for the most part, so it's kind of nice and thin. Okay. Oh, where was it too? On this leg. Oh well, how well you can see that there with the. I'm going to have this zoomed in a bit more when painting so much smaller. So this process is a bit tedious at times, but it's worth it. We're just going to basically we're just doing edges and a bit of rivet heads, and so literally over here, because this is where the light right here, so we'll do a bit like that. And then around the edge there. Can't even see that under there because I can't really get this upside down much more, otherwise I can't reach it. We're just building them highlights up, and with the way that I painted this, it's intentionally very dark so that you can do this, and your edges then stand out really nicely. Although, as I say, it does take a bit of patience and steady hand, but this is, for me, this is why you're painting, because you're trying to make it look as good as possible. Which you don't always end up with, but you just have to try the best you can. Not going to be fun doing this because this is loose, intentionally loose, but it's still going to be less than fun. Still a lot of work to do on this. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh. God damn it. Oh, I've managed to bust that link. Well, that kind of sucks. All the way. But I'm going to have to fix that now. That's going to annoy the life out of me. There's the glue. Where is this scalpel gone? Where is the scalpel gone? Well, that's not ideal. Where bloody hell's that gone? There. Oh, there it is. There it is. It's held. Right, so careful gluing. been one of them days today. Let's not lose any of them. Where's that pin? Somewhere around here. You find something, let me lose it again. I did have hundreds of these things. Everything got packed away when we moved. And now I can't find anything. Oh, there it is, getting annoyed. So, slightly blocked super glue nozzle. One in, fixed. Should be fixed. Different. Okay, that was fixed. Hopefully that shouldn't come off again. Right, let's have a look at this diorama again and see if we can get these sandbags finished. As they are dry by the looks of it. You're having a laugh. What is going on with this paint? Hmm. Well, that's infuriating, to say the fucking least. Pass. Do not know. I end up just literally hand painting every bloody one. Tidy them out like this, which is going to take a while. I wonder if it's because probably because they weren't varnished again. Now how is that not getting caught by the bots? Oh, it did get caught by the bots. I just didn't like it. Cool. That's alright then. How's the phone doing? Yeah, I know, Dem. It's bizarre. He has actually done so, but it just. He did actually do it. I don't know why it's not showing up. I mean, it's weird. I thought it had. Yeah, it's weird because in OBS it says that he has deleted it, but I'm using like an app because I'm testing I've got multi-streaming going, so I'm streaming Twitch, YouTube, and Instagram, which is kind of cool. And the multi-chat that I'm using to have chat for Twitch and YouTube, that's why I thought it was there. But when you go and check in OBS, it actually says it's been deleted. So I don't know. But if you can see that message, it clearly hasn't. Stupid thing. Oh hell no! I think there's like I think there's a maximum age for TikTok, isn't there? I'm fairly certain I'm way too old for TikTok. Instagram's good though, because Instagram's got like loads of stuff for like miniatures and what have you. There's a lot of all the painters are on there, so it's my it's the only one that I have other than Facebook. Yeah, balls. That looks drier than it is. It's no good. I'm going to have to get the palette out. This is running out of spots. Alright, so we're going to have to do these there. See that or not? It's kind of annoying. Oh my god. I'm not having much luck with this. What's going on today? The paint just doesn't want to paint. Let's get some of this working. Alright, this is aptly named acrylic thinner. what it actually is this stuff. This stuff's cool. This is the dog's bollocks. It's great for airbrush. Absolutely fantastic in the airbrush. Put enough in. I am going to get these frigging sandbags done today. It's just going to take forever. It's not the ideal way to be holding a model of this size. Put it down a second. Yeah, has the wife just gone to bed? So I'm going to shut this door just in case. As it wouldn't do to be waking her up. I mean, obviously, if anyone's got any questions, I mean, I don't know if there's anybody actually watching, but if there is anybody, if you've got any questions, feel free to ask. from this side for now. I mean, I don't know if we've got. If you're not watching me on Twitch, then you should. Get yourself over there, give me a follow. Hopefully, if I can. The idea is to try and do more of these videos. I was trying, the plan was to, the little plan that I had in my brain was to actually stream all of this, the painting of all of this. But the other night I couldn't sleep. Got really carried away with it, and really sort of found the pace with the airbrush and painted almost all of it in one go, which, you know, good for me, but not so great if you want to stream it. To be honest, I probably should have just done these as this in the first person to try and mess around doing dry brushing and stuff, which normally is quite, for this sort of thing would usually be a sort of, for some reason, every time I try it, it just pulls the paint off. For some reason. Alright, nice one. Well, thanks for hanging out, and thank you for the sub. Much appreciated, as always. And I will, I'm sure, speak to you very soon anyway. Enjoy your Ashes of Creation. I see you've been playing it loads, so hopefully all that's going well for you. me get used to. Sorry, that's probably off screen there. Let's turn this around to do something from this side. Push over that one like that. There we go. Now let's print that. Oh, 92%. soon as I've done this, I'm going to varnish it because it's starting to piss me off. And it keeps pulling chunks of paint off it. Right, we need to turn it around again. Undoubtedly, some people are watching and going, what the hell have you done with your desk? Your desk is a horrendous mess, and you'd be quite right. It is absolutely a horrendous mess. Paints everywhere. Well, maybe by the time I do another stream, I might tell you a bit. Right. Well, we're nearly there with these stone bags for this bit at least. Get the airbrush switched on in a sec, and then we'll get this layer of varnish on top of this. And oops, I think, yeah, just that one. Ow, that's that's nice. Not a great idea to bash your elbow straight on it. There. Right. Okay. Was it done as much as they're getting just now until right now I need to move. Oh shit, that's got loads of really thin stuff in, so be careful. Another loose. If anyone is not aware, these ball bearings are to go in paint pots, so they're in with mixing. Let me just get a quick 97% on the print. Oh, excuse me. What was I doing? I was doing airbrush. Switch that on. That was the airbrush, and we have ultra matte varnish. Okay, this is probably the best. This is like it does what it says on the tin. I need a couple of drops of this, I think. Just now. Oh shit! Spilling all over the place. Because we are right. So one thing I'm going to do is this lid here that's buried. I'm kind of hoping that this tones this down a little bit. Okay, right, and there's a bit of enamel spillage, not spillage, but just a slight overrun on the edges, which I then just brushed primer back over. Give this a clean sort. No, didn't put quite enough in. That should be enough. And that should hopefully take that sort of shiny bit away, which it's. Do anything. Right, and that is that. Now, while that does look extremely shiny, it really is not. Let's get that out of there. Water. When that dries, that will dry dead matte. It will be very, very flat indeed. Let's give the airbrush clean. This thinner, the reason I got this thinner is because it's not just a thinner, it's actually a cleaner as well and a retarder. So it's basically just saves you having to buy like 6 different things to do one job. Just bring that out of there. Really cleans. Thing. Fluff on the model. There we go. It always used to seem like it took forever to, if you wanted to keep changing colour all the time or what have you. Oh my god, it would take forever to get this airbrush clean and what have you. But it's actually not too bad when you sort of kind of get the hang of it. Right, so we need to wait for that to dry. Now there's what we've got left to do. So the base itself is mostly now accessories to go on, which will all need painting as well separately. But I'm going to prime them all and I'll get them all done separately. So what we do have left to do though is we do have the Earthshaker cannon and the Trojan to paint. I just want to see what these sandbags look like once these varnish is dried. And also I'm going to have to sort that print out shortly. What time are we at now? 20 past 11 already. Wow. How long have we been on for? 2.5 hours. It's not too bad. That varnish has indeed made that brush look a bit better, in fact, I would say. Ooh, alright. Sandbags are not ideal. I would have liked them to have looked a bit better than that, but take it. Alright, now there is one thing I need to do. Is there anything else I can do on this board before we put it away? Put it out of the way. I don't think there is. Not really. Everything else for this is all the accessories and then actually building, putting everything together. So I'm going to put this out of the way. And carefully put it out of the way. And I think that what we will do next is this. So we need these are the wheels. And actually. Oh, the print is ready. Let's have a quick look. Let's see. Thank you. Oh, it has. It's printed it really nicely. Sweet. So that print is looking like it's gone quite well. So I'm just going to leave that to drip because it needs to drip a lot of the loose resin off. So what we're going to do first is this should have been done when I did the original ones, but you can see these rivets on the wheels. Well, they don't look like. Well, technically, there should be more. Yeah, this should be on every spoke, whereas I've actually put them on every other spoke. So, what we're going to do is put some more on. Oh, come on. And the super glue stuck. I've got multiple things of super glue, but trying to use one at a time is much better. It's only stuck to the point where I can't get off by hand. You'll find this happens with the different super glues. These are, relatively speaking, cheap. I got these big three gigantic bottles. About $5 or maybe less. And it's good glue. It's very effective. Right, so all we'll need for this is we need our super glue and we need rivets. Well, these are going to be very difficult to see, I think, on the camera, as they are transparent. Because these are made in a little mould that I bought ages ago from Green Stuff World, and it's that plus, if I can dig it out, it's behind a whole bunch of other stuff. And not stab myself with the pin vise would be great. This stuff, it's made out of that. And molds. Now you can make these with rubber silicone molds or whatever, stretchy, bendy, and you can, as you can see, I've made previously with green stuff. You could use green stuff, you could use basically any kind of modelling putty. But this stuff is, I wish I had this years and years ago, because this stuff you literally, like anyone who's used green stuff knows, it takes ages to cure, like to actually set. Whereas this stuff, it's just a paste, and you just paste it into the mould, smooth it off, and then shine the torch on it, which is a UV torch, and then it's instantly done. And then you just have to pull them out, and they are very small, so you won't probably be able to see them on the camera, I wouldn't have thought. But you might well be able to see them once I've got them on here, because these being black, these will stand out. So we're going to do these and then just touch up the primer, and then I think I'll call it a night at that point, because I need to sort out that print that's finished. So what we'll do is we'll do the spare wheels, the outside wheels quickly first. So just get a couple of these ready to go. You say they are extremely small, you will need a pair of tweezers. If you can actually see those on the camera, you can see them to some extent. Let's. Oh, that was the wrong button. Now, why is it done that stupid thing? Okay, I've broken the focus. I don't know why it's done that, because it never ever has done that before. apologies there, I don't know what happened, but for some reason my phone decided to reboot itself for no reason. Obviously I am using my phone as my camera. I've had people say to me, "You're lying, this is not your phone. It's clearly a very expensive camera." It's obviously not, it's just my phone. Oh, come on. Just being stupid. Yeah, I thought the battery had maybe gone there or whatever, but it shouldn't have, because it's plugged into the mains. Right, hopefully that should be back. Now, can we zoom in this time without breaking the camera? No, I don't know why. Well, we've zoomed in a little bit and that should be somewhat better. Right. Now, like I say, I should have redone this before these are even undercoated, because super glue on primer is not an ideal situation. But what we're going to do is basically do this. So it doesn't take that much, you just got to be careful. And when they've dried, we'll just quickly file them down a bit so they're flat, because otherwise they'll look a bit silly. Oh, get off the tweezers. This is the only downside of this, is that they do occasionally, you get glue on the tweezers and then the damn thing won't come off when you let go of it. Also, I take this glove off because it's a pain in the ass for super gluing. Close enough, and that one's done. Wow, see, this is what I mean. Glue and paint don't mix very well. Well, that will drop down upside down, get off. This is a test of patience if you ever wanted one. Oh yeah, little so and so, yeah. And stuck the tweezers together. You will almost certainly have to clean the tweezers after you've done this because you will get super glue on them. It's the only element of this print of this model that was missing, I think, that I can obviously missing. Too much glue there. Let's soak a little bit of that up. Not enough glue. Nope, it's not stuck to the fucking thing. Yeah. That's the outer wheel's almost up. So, oh dear. That's all the outer wheel's done. Now, the far more fiddly ones, if that wasn't fiddly enough, are the ones actually on the carriage. when I put the first ones on, I actually thought it was every other spoke, and then when I looked at the reference pictures, it was not. It was every spoke. Oh, excuse me. Obviously, there's no point putting them on. I did put it on that one, but there won't be any point putting it on that one. That's the only one. That one's the pipe, so that's going to be on the floor. wish I'd noticed these weren't on before. She assembled the damn thing. Right. What to do? It would have been much easier. Right, they're all up to the top. So we've still got a few of those left if we need to put them anywhere. Wash the ends of that. And right, and I think that will do for now. Thank you for watching, whoever is here, if there's anybody here. Is there anybody? Oh, there might be. One or two. And if anyone's watching over on YouTube, I don't know. Let's have a look. Oh, look at that. Why did that not work? That chat is supposed to be coming into... Oh. That chat's supposed to be coming into the mixed chat. Well, anyway, that'll be enough stream for now. I'm going to message this guy back because, or this person back because obviously they think I've ignored them. I don't know why that chat did not come into the mixed chat. So obviously that's not working at all. Thanks for the follow. families, thank you very much. Hi, how are you doing? Fortunately, you've joined me just as I'm about to sort of shut down. But I do appreciate the follow. So I will be probably, what day are we on today? I don't even know what day it is. Just keep an eye on my streams. I'll be streaming more because I've got a lot more of this model to do. The diorama, I don't know if you saw. If you, I don't know, I'll grab it quickly. So this is what I was actually working on for the majority of the stream, so you can see. And then if you're interested, you'll be able to come back and see where we're up to with it. So this is the base for this Earthshaker. Yeah, just nicely. Like so. And thank you very much. Appreciate it. It was inspired by a diorama that was done back in 2000. I think it's 2008 when the book was released, which was one of the old Imperial Armour modelling masterclasses. And there's basically this diorama, and this is my recreation of it. But all of these bits are 3D printed, except for the terrain. The terrain itself is obviously just foam, but all the shells, the boards, the floors, the sandbags, the gun, the Trojan that will come on there, and all of these little extras that are yet to be put in. These are all 3D printed. And my goal with this part of the goal was to endeavour to be as close to 100% either scratch built or 3D printed. So I am going to get to almost hit that, because the only thing I'm going to have to buy, which I can't necessarily make, I can, but it's what it'll take me a bit of it, is some barbed wire. So there's some very good barbed wire you can get as brass etch, which is, you've got to be careful, it's kind of sharp. But it'll look really good once it's on. So, but yeah, this is what I'm working on right now. I've got a whole bunch of other shit to do as well, and I've just got a print started of a big model. So that'll be a project. Once I get all of it printed, it'll be a very interesting project. So we'll have to see whether we can maybe put it on a nice scenic board. I think it'll deserve one once it's all printed on. So. But yeah, thanks for the follow, do appreciate it, and I will be back possibly tomorrow, possibly Tuesday, maybe not Tuesday actually, probably tomorrow. I might do some tomorrow. Tuesday I've got some stuff I need to do, so I might not be able to get on. I don't know. If I can, I will, but hopefully I'll be able to do a lot more of these videos. I think a lot of this kind of thing is like with the advent of 3D printing. I think there's a lot of people, I mean, talking about, I used to 3D print a lot for these, like, accessories like these models. You just can't buy them anymore unless you want to buy them off eBay for huge amounts of money. I looked at one of these Earthshaker cannons. It's an old Krieg Forge World model, and it was £200 I think, or something crazy like that. I didn't even look for the Trojan. But even just buying all these little bits, you know, it would cost a lot of money. Whereas, fair enough, my printer wasn't cheap, but I've already printed all this stuff. I've printed a whole bunch of other stuff, not to mention all the other bits. I've got, like, I don't know, it's a project. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, the Forge, all out of production Forge World models are expensive. And they don't make this one. They don't make that at all anymore. Not in that form. The only Earthshaker cannons you can get now are the Basilisks, which are obviously just a Chimera with a gun on the top. Definitely don't look as cool as this. So, but if you've got any questions, I'll come back on. Feel free to ask them anything. I've been painting and modelling a long time. I wouldn't consider myself to be an expert. Yeah, yeah. The current forgeable stuff is expensive, but I think they're doing they're changing quite a bit of it into plastic. I've seen. I mean, if I could just move some of these things out of the way. I mean, I did buy Games Workshop's original stuff. I've got a lot of it. I mean, I've been doing this a very long time. How long have I been doing this now? Probably for about the best part of 40 years, give or take. I started doing Games Workshop and modelling when I was about 10, and I'll be 50 next year, which is horrendously scary. But like, for example, this Cerastus, this is a plastic kit, and it wasn't, I couldn't remember, it was 120 pounds or something like that. But it was a lot cheaper than trying to get a resin one. Not that you can get anymore, but this is good. They've just brought out the fell blade. The fell blade for Horus Heresy. It's 120 quid. The Forge World resin kit was 250 pounds or something crazy. It was expensive. I decided to start 40k with Custodes. Oh yeah, Custodes. Yeah, the Custodes. I mean, they've been in the lore forever, and the models only came, right, like I say, recently. Yeah, relatively recently. So this past year. Oh yeah, cool. They are nice models. I particularly like, what's that dreadnought? They've got a specific dreadnought that I really like. Is it the Telemon dreadnought? I think it is. Which looks very cool, and yeah, the vehicles are pretty interesting. He doesn't want massive golden shooty boys, I guess. I might have to have a look and see if I can get some, or maybe print some. Who knows? Maybe we'll do some if there's enough. Gold's a funny colour to paint, especially on like big areas. It's a bit different. So yeah, but yeah, I'm glad you stopped by, dude. I mean, like I say, I'll be starting to stream a lot more. I have the ability to do it a bit more now, and I think, like a lot of people who've been doing this for a long time, I have little breaks, so I have to take little breaks where I like sort of lose my mojo, I guess, and or inspiration or motivation to paint and model and what have you. But once I got my new printer and I was able to print this stuff out, it was like, I knew I was going to do this. This is something I wanted to recreate for a very long time since I had the book originally. And I have to say, I'm pretty happy with how it's turned out so far. So hopefully we can get it finished off and do it justice, and maybe try and finish it maybe this week, maybe next, maybe a week after. Maybe not. I don't know. We might get it finished this week, or mostly finished. It depends how long it takes to paint all the hundreds of little accessory artillery shells and crew and boxes and the barrels and guns and backpack, all the little bits and bobs that got to go on. We shall see. But anyway, right, I'm going to call it a night there. I've got to go, and I've got a 3D print that's literally just finished, and I've finished recently. I need to sort it out so that it's not sitting on the print bed stewing in its own resin. So thanks for watching, and I shall catch you all probably tomorrow. So take it easy and enjoy. Thanks, man. You too.